This is the best LEGO Minecraft set ever, but even the best LEGO Minecraft set still isn't game accurate. So today we're going to be transforming this set right here, the Pillager Raid, into a more game accurate scene, with every single block being exact cubes and all the things being accurate to what you would find in a real Minecraft desert village. I really think this is going to be my hardest LEGO Minecraft challenge yet, but I'm really excited to get started on this one. We've already done the nether as well as an overworld section, but it's time to turn our attention to the desert and savanna biomes. So now it's time to plan, and the first thing I did was create this blank grid with basic dimensions of where the mock's going to go, and then I started to add in different sections and different dimensions for each of the different buildings. I decided to cut off one section off on the far left so it would be 24 blocks, just nice and even, and then we went ahead and made this green section for where the actual savanna biome's going to go, and started to map out a few more buildings and sections to go in different areas. And doing this will basically make it really easy to start building, as I had each and every dimension of each building completely laid out before I even started. I also added in a couple of grids where the acacia trees are going to go, followed by a small farm section, and then it was time to add the raiders and start the raid. But before we do any building, I have to do a massive order of pieces so we can get started on the actual mock. Yes, the pieces finally arrived. And yes, I know this looks like a LEGO set, but it's actually a bricklink quarter full of awesome pieces for this build. But the main thing I was looking for in this store was an Enderman, an Illager, 3 Pillagers, a Desert Villager, and this awesome Night Skin minifigure. Damn, I really felt like Eminem listing off all of those names there. But yeah, these will be really useful. I think everyone apart from the Enderman will be used in the upgrade of this awesome set. So this store had those massive plates for about 75p each, which is crazy, so I had to pick up as many as I could of those. And then I've never seen this before, but this guy didn't even remove the plates before he shipped them to me, so I guess I got a few free pieces, but yeah, when am I ever going to use those? But yeah, that's the first package. Let's see what's in the second one. So I just realized there's actually meant to be 2 of those desert villages in the last package, but for some reason the guy refunded me one of them. Okay, this is more like it. We have loads of tan pieces. Obviously we're building a desert, so these are going to be so useful. So yeah, loads of tan plates to make up the base border, because I actually don't have many tan pieces, but nonetheless we have a couple of minifigs in this bag. Let's have a look at what we got. So I picked up 3 of these zombie villages just because I don't really want to buy that new zombie village kind of sets. I decided to pick up 3 of these, and 2 of them actually come with these big hats right here, so I can make some farmers and stuff like that. And speaking of the farmers, we have 2 more in here. Wait, hold on, they're missing their legs. I'm gonna have to message the bricklink seller and find out where these guys' legs are. Otherwise, the rest of the pieces include another llama, a load of inverted and regular tiles. For making the mock nice and smooth and everything, this is gonna look really good. And now we've got all these pieces, you guys know it's building time. There's only one place to start the build, and that is of course by laying down a nice foundation. So we began by doing a border in reddish brown and main light tan, which is basically going to act as the base layer for the desert slash savanna area that's going to go on the far side. I filled the center with random color plates as no one's ever going to see this section, and then I went ahead and secured everything together with different bricks and then another layer of plates to finish off. So we finished the base and we now have a rectangle of, yeah, basically just colorful plates, but this is going to all be covered up by tile and the buildings and everything like that. So it's now time to plan out what's going to go where and start laying out the different shapes for the buildings. Okay, so we should have the village all laid out now. This one should be the small house that's going to go in the corner with the steps going up and the 2 stories. This one here should be the one with the small pen in the background, and then this one is the sort of farm. And over here we have the trading stool sort of thing. So now I think we need to turn our attention back to building some more buildings, and I think I'm going to start with this one here. So the first problem I have with this building is stairs. Now stairs in LEGO Minecraft are obviously hard to do because they are 1 brick high and then half a brick high. What I did was a couple different methods right here. So this one's the first design I went with. I used the kind of technique that someone named Cheesy Studios has done. Basically you can use these brackets to get half a plate difference, which that makes a really nice stair design. However, if you're going to do the second stair, I don't want this sort of ugly bit here being shown. So what I would have had to do with this, raise up the ground and then have a sand block next to it, which kind of just makes it look a bit ugly. So then I decided to try and work on this, which is actually going to be a technique where it starts from the bottom and makes the second stair without having to cover up anything ugly or anything like that. So I started by locating exactly where the stairs were going to go, and then I had to rip up a few plates as the sub-assembly has to sit slightly below the level of the ground. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy I got the stairs in place. They look pretty good. I think it's all lining up perfectly, so you can see 1 plate there and then a brick will be exactly there, so that's looking pretty good. However, I've just realized this is not exactly where I need them. I need to shift them up 1 brick this way, which, yeah, was a bit stupid. So I moved the stairs forward 1 plate and then began building up the walls using jumper plates on the corners to achieve the smooth chiseled sandstone texture. As the walls went up, I could then begin to work on the second level, adding in a small bedroom for the villager with a bed and a crafting table. Finally, to wrap up this building, I worked on a small removable wall as well as a removable roof so we could get a good look into the building once it's done. So just finished the first house and I'm actually really happy with it. You can see that's basically what it looks like in game. I know there should be another door up on the second floor, but it kind of wouldn't really work with the scale because I added these striped pillars on the outside to look like these sort of grooves that we see in these bricks right here. I really like the way that looks, and then you can obviously remove this top section here, and then you can even remove the back wall, and then by doing that you can see the interior a little bit better. So you can see we've got a nice bed and a crafting table in there. That's pretty simple. And then we have the steps that go up to to the next level. And then replacing this wall is very, very simple. And then obviously we can just add the roof back on top as well. And I'm really happy with the way that comes out. And with that being done, it's time to move on to the next one. So you can see before I started anything, I had to rip up this entire center section again to get this step in the front. Because you can see this is the house we're going to be building next. And there is a small step out the front. So now it should be pretty plain sailing to get this small building built up. Starting with the wall around the edge, we built up the pen for the animals. And then we can move on to the small square building, which is a very, very simple construction. And I finished that off with a small tiled roof. And we're probably over 50% done now. We have the two hardest parts done. We have the two buildings. That's really good. We have the small pen there for the horse, as well as a few details on the inside. I believe there should be a smoker in there. However, I don't think Lego have made one of those in Lego, so I decided to put a furnace inside of there. And you can see the stone slabs that make up the center section in there. It's pretty dark, and I didn't make a removable lid just because there's meant to be sort of slabs on either side, so I had to do this at a different height. It just wasn't going to work for any sort of removable lid. We have a kind of groove in the side there. That's basically the half slab gap that we have there. And then around the back, you can see we have a small hay bale, and we have this nice wall running around the outside. But yeah, now that building's done, we have two of the buildings done. We just need to work on the two smaller elements, and then we need to work on the savannah biome over here, which is going to be really fun to do. So I've got my pillager army set up ready for the raid, so that'll be pretty cool, and I can't wait to carry on building. So with that being said, let's start working on one of these two sections here. My attention now turned to the small trading stand, and this was by far the most simple part of the build. Contrasting that, the build for the farm was nothing but simple and honestly quite frustrating. I ended up ripping apart most of the base layer, and you can see why I said I would regret adding in these big plates and bricks in the center earlier in the episode. So that was fun. Basically what we had to do was rip up this entire section, but I completely forgot that I had these massive pieces in here under here. So basically I had to rip up all of those, get rid of those as you saw, and then we went ahead and added in these. So yeah, then I had to design a sort of half corner step. I basically had to work out how to do that, and it was pretty simple. I basically just used one of these bricks with the studs on two sides, which is pretty useful, and then we added in a bracket on both sides. Now what I have to do is build up all of those, add in the blocks in between, and then add a couple of layers of tilled grass with water in between. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that right now. With everything in place now, the final parts of the farm came together super easily. I raised up the stairs around the outside, and then built up a section in the middle for the water and the crops to grow. With all the structures done now, I added a raised layer of brown for the dirt beneath the grass for the savannah biome, and started to tile off this section. So I'll leave you with the most satisfying part of the whole build, and hope you will enjoy the full tiling process in all its beauty. So now when it comes to the grass that I'm going to be using for the savannah biome, obviously ideally I would use the regular 3-stem grass pieces. However, these are ridiculously expensive in olive green. So I'm going to go ahead and use these bigger olive green pieces. I did do a poll over on my Instagram, and this one was far more popular than the regular 3-stem one in regular green was. So I decided to go with this, but let me know what you think in the comments, and hopefully Lego will make a regular olive green one of these very, very soon. Okay, so now it's time to transform this acacia tree that we got in the set into a fantastic, more realistic, game accurate looking acacia tree. And boom, we have our two nice looking acacia trees. And as you can see, if I add these little bricks in here, these are sort of my markers to make sure everything's exactly game accurate, that these trees are perfect. Basically, it then goes up another block at the top there. And I decided to add this little bit of dark orange at the bottom of each of these stumps, just so it looks like the bottom of the acacia wood. So all that's left now is to add back in the two acacia trees, steal this armor stand from the original set, and upgrade our player skin so he has the best chance of surviving and getting the hero of the village. And now we've upgraded from this pile of rubbish to this absolute masterpiece. So yeah, now for me, I'm really happy with this. I'm so glad I can now show you the full upgraded village. I really like this small diorama right here, but there's a few details we need to go over. So of course, we've been over a few things to do with the sort of houses and stuff like that. We put a little plant pot on the balcony right there. We have the horse in the paddock over here. I really like that. And we have a villager walking down the center section. We have a farmer villager going to maintain his crops, as well as a couple of players ready to defend the village and try and get as many of these little totems as they can. So you can see they've already killed one of the evokers who've arrived at the raid. But yeah, otherwise we have the small trading stand over here with another villager. I really love the way the farm came out with the small indented areas. It adds a lot of detail to this center section. I think it works perfectly in this area here. And then of course we have the savannah over on this side. So we have the small olive green plant stems. I think they do work in this context. Let me know what you think of those. I definitely would be tempted to swap those out for the regular plant stems. And then we of course have the two big savannah trees. And I'm really glad I managed to build something that's just slightly bigger than this guy right here. You can see obviously the Ravager is coming in ready to deal with with these two players over here, and honestly, I don't know how much of a chance they stand without bows and everything like that. Of course, we have loads of pillagers and everything like that, so we have 3 with the crossbows down here, and then of course 1 pillager captain on top of the ravager, and then these guys tend to be the first ones you come across as they run in really fast, so we have 2 of the pillagers there and there with their axes. I did also include a few things that you find in regular villages and everything like that, like cats. Now this is actually the one from the set, so I decided to put him up on top of here just to be out of the way of the raid so he doesn't get in any trouble with these guys. Not a crazy amount more details to show you, but I'm really happy with the way this came together. I really like these hay bales over here, but overall I think it turned out absolutely fantastically. Let me know what you thought in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback down below, and of course let me know what Minecraft set you would like to see me improve next. I've definitely got some cool ideas, but I'd love to hear which ones you would suggest in the comment section down below. And yeah, overall I'm just really glad I managed to get everything completely game accurate. So all the stairs, they're completely game accurate. We have all the blocks are obviously exactly cubes, so that's perfect, and I'm just really happy with the way this came together. And that totem was kind of a last minute thing, but I think it turned out pretty well. So yeah, definitely let me know what you thought in the comments, guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.